I always want to have sex when I have my period. Is there any disease? Hello everyone, I'm Yu. No matter how good the old driver is, he must abide by the traffic rules. No matter how good the driver is, he cannot run a red light at will. However, even if they wait for the red light honestly, some old drivers find that their desire to let go of themselves during the red light period is strengthened. What's going on? Is there any disease? Didn't you say that you have no thoughts when you have your period? Why do I have to think about pornography during my period? Today I will talk to you. If you have learned new knowledge, don't forget to give me a wave of likes and subscriptions to encourage me. First of all, let's take a look at the fluctuations in hormone levels during the period. During our menstrual cycle, we will experience the peaks of estrogen secretion. The first is a rapid increase from the 7th day of menstruation, reaching a peak before ovulation, and then a short decline after ovulation. When the corpus luteum matures 7-8 days after ovulation around the 22nd day of menstruation, estrogen forms a second peak. At this peak, progesterone has joined in, and a peak appears as the corpus luteum grows. Estrogen and progesterone have different effects. The former can promote water and sodium retention, making the skin moist, delicate, softer, and more lustrous, while progesterone promotes water and sodium excretion, making the skin drier, and you may also feel chest distension and chest pain. In addition to affecting the skin, changes in hormone levels can also affect other organs and emotions. Women often feel that they are very irritable before their period comes, and they are easily upset if they are not happy for a minute. I have also heard male compatriots complain that when their period is coming, their girlfriends or wives are simply a different person, and they will be quarreled if they say something wrong. During the period, the pelvic cavity and perineum will be congested, and even accompanied by edema, which will make the already sensitive parts more sensitive. Coupled with the fluctuation of hormone levels, you may have a stronger desire or drive than usual. This is actually not a problem, but a common physiological change, so there is no need to be too nervous about it. Just treat it with a normal mind. Not everyone will be like this. For example, for some sisters who already have dysmenorrhea or feel uncomfortable during their period, do they want to drive during their period? I have no idea at all. I just want to have a good sleep. Since having an idea is not a big problem, let's talk about something more practical. If you have an idea, can you put it into action at this time? I believe everyone has seen a lot of sayings before, such as having sex during your period will cause infection, cause uterine cold, cause various gynecological diseases, and endometriosis. Is it really that scary? In fact, if you don't feel uncomfortable at all, and you take good care of hygiene issues, it's not that scary to occasionally run or read and drive. On the contrary, because of better lubrication and more sensitive congestion, some people can even get a better experience than usual. But pay attention. Don't rush to practice after reading the above sentences. What I am going to say below is the key point. First of all, even if it is not as terrible as the legend says, it will not cause any uterine cold and there will be no toxins. We still do not recommend driving during menstruation. Especially when there is discomfort during menstruation, do not force yourself to join in the fun. If you really encounter special circumstances, for example, you really have a lot of ideas, just want to use external tools to satisfy yourself, or the couple is originally in different places, and it is not easy to see each other once, and you really don't want to let your period waste this rare opportunity to applaud love. If you have really decided to practice, then I will tell you some precautions. You must remember the preparation and aftermath. Let's talk about the preparation first. If you get sheets, quilt covers, and pillowcases, will it increase the workload invisibly? I have to wash them later, and I feel discouraged when I think about it. At this time, you can consider preparing a disposable sheet. Before proceeding, both parties must be fully and well cleaned. But remember one thing, don't wash inside. Because if you are still in your period, the cervix is slightly open during this period, and vaginal irrigation itself can easily cause an imbalance in the vaginal environment. Therefore, if you want to clean it, you can use shower gel or clean water to clean the outside, and don't wash the inside. For male compatriots, don't cut corners when cleaning. In addition to the easily accessible parts, you should also wash the grooves, especially for men with excessive foreskin. It is best to turn it over and clean it, and try to avoid the residue of smegma. Moreover, at this time, I suggest that even if you will not get pregnant, even if the lubrication is sufficient, you should still use condoms throughout the whole process. After all, the physical barrier of condoms can also further protect your hygiene. If you solve it yourself, the problem will be simpler. If you only stimulate it externally, you can use tampons at the same time to prevent dirtying the sheets. If you use small toys inside, the toys themselves must be cleaned and disinfected. For cleaning small toys, you can use special toy cleaning liquid, warm water, or disinfectant. If you use your own fingers, it is best to trim your nails in advance to make them round enough to avoid the risk of scratches. Whether you handle it yourself or practice with 2 people, you also need to clean up in time after the end. If you want to save trouble, you carry wet wipes in advance, or wash it again, and then clean the battlefield. After the end, you can drink more water appropriately because some sisters will have temporary frequent urination after sex. This is actually related to the stimulation of the adjacent urethral opening during exercise and the congestion of the pelvic cavity. Drink more water and urinate frequently. The flushing of urine can also help relieve some discomfort and reduce the risk of urinary tract infection. Generally speaking, these discomforts should be short-term and temporary, and they can be relieved and disappeared by themselves. If there is obvious abdominal pain, increased menstrual volume, itching, odor, etc., and it cannot be relieved by itself, then I suggest that you seek help from professionals as soon as possible and don't mess around at home. Having said that, I still want to emphasize again, although it is not absolutely impossible to drive during menstruation, we still do not recommend that you drive during the red light period. After all, there are so many days in a month. Why do you have to make up a bloody day, right?